What up, guys? Beard Bros back at you with a new segment. Before we get started and jump right in, like the video, subscribe if you haven't. We're calling this Beard Bro Reacts.
Yes, sir.
We're going to pick a video probably from a particular YouTube channel, but if y'all got something y'all want us to react to, just throw it in the comments, hit us up in the DMs, whatever, and we'll react to it. Today, we're reacting to David Gruber. Can we learn to talk to sperm whales? It's on TED. They're a YouTube channel, TED. Shout out to TED. We're going to be reacting to their video. It's about 6-7 minutes or so. Just come along for the ride, man. I mean, we're just going to see how it goes. I don't really know. We've never done one of these.
I never watched this video, so it might be fucking hilarious.
All right, here we go.
Okay, graphics pretty good.
You are about to hear the sounds of the largest tooth predator on the planet. An animal bigger than a school bus with perhaps the most sophisticated form of communication that has ever existed.
Okay, hold on.
I think I make those noises in the morning when I wake up, and I'm like, damn, man, fucking just little
That
farts.
one's out.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
little
kind of like the whale itself looks weird. Like, look at that caption.
Yeah, that shit
Like, that's a little odd.
I can't even tell if it's a whale. I don't even know.
All right, let's keep going.
The fuck?
These are the
almost-
sounds of the mighty sperm whale, a fellow mammal that can dive almost a mile, hold its breath for more than an hour, and lives in these amazingly complex matriarchal societies. These clicks you heard, called codas, are just a facet of what we know of their communication. We know these animals are communicating.
Okay, so first off, my first reaction is this. I feel like they sounded like one of those like alien movies where like they're lurking around the corner and they're like,
Yeah.
coming. You know they're there, but you're like, where
And
the fuck
you
they
hear
at?
done it. Yeah, I guess
Well,
some shit
that's dogs.
like that.
Yeah. Okay. So that's how they communicate. That's pretty cool, I guess. I mean, dolphins and all them have to. I think that they all they communicate through like vibrating sounds.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this goes.
We just don't yet know what they're saying.
Well,
Project
no shit.
SETI aims to find.
No shit. When the
Yeah,
fuck
when
we gonna
the-
learn that?
When it has a dog bark, like, damn, that motherfucker needs something. But it's like, I mean, what the fuck does he need? You just, I mean, you don't know his needs. You
I
know
don't
what the fuck
know
you
if
talking-
there's a time that I was like, oh, I'm gonna speak Wales someday. Like, we don't know what that nigga said. No shit. I don't know what he said. And I'll probably never know what they're
I
saying.
probably never fucking know. I probably would never care.
Over the next 5 years, our team of AI specialists, roboticists, linguists, and marine biologists aim to use the most cutting-edge technologies to make contact with another species and hopefully communicate back. We believe that by listening
So this nigga literally just said that he's trying to communicate with the whale. Of all whales, a sperm whale.
But if you think about it, bro, like, how do you know what they're saying? Like, how do you know what you're saying is what they're saying? Like, if I spoke to, like, if you didn't speak Spanish and I was speaking Spanish, you wouldn't even know what I was saying. You know what I mean? So how could you communicate
But
back?
see,
to
my thing is this: their whales are like the way they're created. They know how to make these sounds like probably underwater and whenever, obviously.
Mhm.
Where what are we gonna do? Build a whale robot to communicate and make up our own language?
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, who the hell? There ain't a whale about to pop out and be like, yo, I like fucking, what's his name from Family Guy?
yeah.
What's the dog's name?
Oh, it's, Brian.
Brian. There ain't gonna be no Brian coming out of the.
Yeah, what do we benefit of communicating with whales? Like,
I don't know. Let's find out.
fuck.
deeply to nature, we can change our perspective of ourselves and reshape our relationship with all life on this planet. This, of course, seems like an impossible goal.
No shit.
People have been trying
Yeah,
to
I
make
believe that.
contact with other animals for hundreds of years. How could we do what others could not? Especially given that I'm sitting here on my couch in New York City.
You
in the
got
middle of the
no
pandemic and
fucking
protests.
furniture besides
I
the
spent
couch.
the last 20 years as a marine biologist and oceanographer, studying the ocean from all different perspectives, from microbes to sharks. I've assembled interdisciplinary teams that have built the first shark eye camera to see the world from a shark's perspective, and have collaborated with engineers to design robots so gentle that they don't even stress a jellyfish. But it wasn't until...
Well, hold on. That's pretty lit.
That was pretty sick.
Like, that was... Okay, we did mention robots. Not saying we were onto something. But that is interesting how they built something that's sensitive to the touch. Like, I know, for instance, jellyfish, if they feel threatened is when they want to sting and stuff. So for them to build that type of contraption and stuff to be able to touch a jellyfish.
I know the jellyfish is all having fun with it, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Kicking it with the robot.
When I was on fellowship at the Radcliffe Institute for Advanced Study, that I realized that perhaps the best way to understand the ocean and its inhabitants wasn't just by seeing the world through their eyes, but by listening, by really deeply listening. I became interested in sperm whales when I heard their sounds. They sounded like they were coming from another universe, a siren song being broadcast from the darkest reaches of the sea. These weren't the typical...
Hold on, you're saying darkest regions, but I know for a fact that he mentioned earlier they can only dive a mile down. I don't know how deep the sea is, but I'd assume the Earth is more than a mile deep.
Yeah, hell yeah. I see like animals that they pull out from the deep darks, and they have like lights and shit because they can't. There's no way of like the sun getting through there.
So I don't know. This fool, he's lying.
He looks like he
lies.
Studies. He looks like he studies sperm whales.
He looks like he lies.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking lie to his mama.
Whatever. Let's see what else.
Harmonious whale songs that I'd been accustomed to. These sounded more like digital data transfer. We assembled the Future Project SETI team and began discussing how to use the most advanced technologies to communicate with whales. One of the principal conclusions was that machine learning had a really good chance of understanding the patterns of sperm whale communication, and the time to apply these technologies was now. Cracking the interspecies communication code didn't just seem possible, it almost seemed inevitable. But how can analyzing patterns help us converse with whales and other animals?
What?
Well,
yo, he's saying this shit so convincing. Like, I'm in it. Like,
I don't believe him.
I'm over here like,
lied to me.
I'm like, this motherfucker convincing.
He ain't gonna do it.
I'm like, he said he's using all these big words just to tell us it failed. I'm like, fuck.
Oh,
bitch.
It isn't just possible. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, quit lying.
He sounded like
the only thing that makes kind of sense, and it not necessarily in the sense that we're going to communicate with like whales or either sea animals in general, but the fact that, and maybe we'll react to that video next, but there's a small clip of Elon Musk on Joe Rogan's podcast where he's talking to Elon and Elon's over here like, we're going to be communicating with one another in about 5 years telepathically. Like, so maybe, but now you're telling me now I'm not just going to understand humans, I'm going to understand whales, sperm whales. Like, what about the other animals?
What's that dude? Hawkins?
Stephen Hawkins?
Yeah, he had a little thing. That's how
we're
communicating.
I don't know, man. That seems a little far-fetched. We'll see. We'll see how more compelling this guy is.
Step one is to understand the elements of sperm whale communication. These codas you heard don't appear to be sentences as we know them, but there's clear structure in how these animals communicate. Sperm whales send codas back and forth to each other in sequences, and there are regional dialects like British and Australian accents. This is exactly why machine learning is such a powerful tool.
You tell me,
These approaches analyze patterns in relationship and map meaning to them. Just a few years ago, scientists used machine learning to translate between two totally unknown human languages, not by using a Rosetta Stone or a dictionary, but by mapping them on patterns in higher dimensional space. But for machine learning to work effectively, it needs data. It needs lots and lots of data. In the past half century, marine researchers have painstakingly collected and hand annotated just a few thousand sperm whale vocalizations. But in order to learn sperm whale communication, we'll need to collect millions, if not tens of millions, of carefully annotated sperm whale vocalizations correlated with behaviors. We'll do it with non-invasive, autonomous free-swimming robots, aerial aquatic drones, bottom-mounted hydrophone arrays, and more. We'll work with our close partners at the Dominica Sperm Whale Project to cover a 20 square kilometer area that is frequented by over 25 well-known families of sperm whales. We're going to put specific focus on the interactions of mothers and calves.
So there was a point there where he had mentioned that the data and like how much data, and then on top of like
Specific data.
yeah, okay, and I don't think he meant that you're like Spanish and British or anything.
No. They're different, like slang and terminology they probably use.
Well, it's more like understanding their languages to
Mhm.
understanding this language.
Yeah,
I think that's what it meant. Maybe if you guys think I'm wrong, that's cool. Let me know. But what I'm thinking is like we didn't know Spanish, then we learned Spanish. What Spanish meant? Not all of us, but you know the people that need to know the Spanish language.
Yeah.
That's what they're interpreting whales as, just another language. Okay, I mean. Kind of, but then like it's not like someone's gonna speak well.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think like they have to do specific topics. Like he just said, the mother calf.
Yes, relationship.
Like,
it's like
yeah.
probably like, yo, come over here because you're
Yo.
about to die.
Yo, get on my tit. Like
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know.
maybe. Yeah,
It's a
you're
male.
right.
It's a fucking.
You're right, but you're like, yeah, that's.
I'll assume they milk. I don't really know how that works. I guess they feed. I don't know.
I don't know either. I guess we're gonna have to Google what sperm whales eat.
Sperm.
Training our machine learning
What?
algorithms to learn whale language from the bottom up.
Are they fucking?
All this data were
They're
sent through a
kidding.
pipeline and
Oh,
analyzed by the
my.
Project SETI translation
I
team.
mean,
The raw audio and context data will go through our machine learning engine, where it's going to be first sorted by structure. The linguistics team will then search for things like syntax and time displacement. For example, if we find an event where a whale was talking about something yesterday, that alone would be a major finding, something that has thus far only been shown in humans. And once we've really mastered listening, we're going to try really carefully to talk back, even on the most simplistic level. Finally, Project SETI will build an open source platform where we will make our data sets available to the public, encouraging the global community to come along on this journey for understanding. These animals could be the most intelligent beings on this planet. They have a neocortex and spindle cells, structure that in humans control higher order thoughts, emotions, memory, language, and love. And all the platforms...
That was actually going to be my question. And now he kind of answered it for me. So I was thinking, why whales? Like, you know how hard it is to, like, find whales? Like, I know he has this area where they're focusing on, where there's, like, 25 known whales. But then it's like, bro, you got to spend the time out in the ocean and do all this stuff. Like, it ain't easy. Yeah. Where you could go get, like, monkeys or in the jungle, like, or whatever.
Well, they're not that smart.
But that's what he just mentioned, was that it's not necessarily the higher, like, level of communication that they have, but according to him, there's, like, emotion and love, and there's depth to the sperm whale. So that's why they want to learn more about the sperm whale.
He wants to learn about the sperm whale so he can start fucking business.
Well, what was the other, what were they called? CTE? No, that's not what it is. It was, what was it called? It was the SETI, Project SETI or whatever.
Are only been shown in humans. And once we've really mastered listening, we're going to try really carefully to talk back, even on the most simplistic level.
Oh, we already watched
Finally,
this.
Project SETI will build an open source platform where we will make our data sets available to the public, encouraging the global community to come along on this journey for understanding. These animals could be the most intelligent beings on this planet. They have a neocortex and spindle cells, structure that in humans control higher order thoughts, emotions, memory, language, and love. And all the platforms that we develop can be cross-applied to other animals, to elephants, birds, primates, dolphins, essentially any animal. In the late 1960s, our team member, Roger Payne, discovered that whales sing. A finding that sparked the Save the Whales movement led to the end of large-scale whaling and prevented several whale species from extinction, just by showing that whales sing. Imagine if we could understand what they're saying. Now is the time to open this larger dialogue. Now is the time to listen deeply and show these magical animals and each other newfound respect. Thank you.
Yeah.
There you go. There you have it. Final thoughts.
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, eventually we're gonna be able to, like the outcome. I feel like is if you have a good imagination of what could happen, man, you could be instead of being Tiger King, you could really be like Tiger King. You could really be Tiger King. Like you like, hey, bitch, come here. Cause I'd be.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was interesting to think that maybe we could speak to any animals according to him, like birds and shit or whatever. Do I believe that we really could? No. I'm gonna just put that out there right off the jump. I don't think it's possible.
I mean, it's possible because we could train dogs, and they don't. We don't
think of
speak their
this.
language.
So they said that whales sing.
Uh-huh.
Okay, just because you blow in a trumpet and make pretty noises doesn't mean that it's singing.
I mean, that's not singing. That's.
But that's creating music.
Yeah.
A piano creates sound that sounds beautiful,
Well,
but it doesn't mean that it actually sings.
So you're saying
Just because
so you're saying whales don't sing?
Well, probably not. I'm gonna just say.
So they're not Frank Ocean?
If I started humming, does that mean I can sing?
No, you can hum.
Okay, just because it's, what do they call it? Whale singing.
Yeah.
Like just because they put singing in there, what if I put hum singing?
But what if it was different tones of like? What if it was? We would have to look it up.
We'd have to really dive deep. Get that into whales.
Yeah, that's why I say they're not Frank Ocean.
Yeah. So you would have to really look into whales and if they sing different than one another.
I would assume. I mean,
but I've heard birds and they sound the same. Not all birds, but the birds of the same species.
well, yeah. So I mean, that's why all the whales were like saved, not just the sperm whales.
Well, no, humpback whales. That's what it was. It was a humpback
Oh,
whale.
so all then
because they said that they sang.
But then they saved all the whales from people whaling. I guess that's what they call killing whales.
Well, I don't know. Give us your thoughts. Hope you enjoyed the Beard Bro Reacts.
I think it would be cool. We'll get into more different ones. I mean,
that was just one we seen sperm whale. We're not gonna lie, that intrigued us. So we were like, oh, let's see what these people have to talk about sperm whales. So yeah, we're gonna start doing this probably on a weekly basis. Hope you guys.
It's pretty fun because you just. I mean,
you just learn something.
You just learn something like. Oh,
it's educational, but it's kind of comical.
You could be comical on it, yeah.
Yeah, like it's kind of funny. It's not all that serious, but maybe you guys are into sperm whales or whales in general, or just communicating with other species on this earth.
Yeah.
This is something hopefully you like. So like the video and subscribe. Beard Bros out. Peace.